Okay, guys, I'll start out with some of the injury stuff. Whitworth got his ankle and kind of his knee rolled up on that first run of the game, and he'll be day to day. He was getting a scan today, and so waiting on those results. David Long's knee looks like it's going to be okay. We'll still take it a day at a time with him, but I think the initial feedback that we're getting is positive results, and just kind of based on how he's feeling. Ben Skowronek just had his back lock up on him. He's feeling better today, so I don't expect that to even affect the way he practices this week. And then Brandon Powell got his ribs, but he should be good as well with those four guys.
Stu?
Hey, Sean, along the lines of injury updates, I know you mentioned before that provided you guys handle your business, that you'd be able to have conversations about Ernest Jones potentially returning as soon as this week. Is that still the case? And what's the latest on his status?
Yeah, that is a possibility, Stu. Both he and Darrell Henderson are potential guys that could return or that we could start their clocks. Whether that means they're actually available this week or not is to be determined. But both of those guys are kind of in the same boat. Ernest might be a little bit further ahead of Darrell, so that is a good thing on both of those guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jerry?
Hey, Sean. In facing a quarterback that's had more postseason success, I guess, than anyone, what's going to be the biggest challenge in terms of preparing for and controlling Tom Brady in a playoff situation?
Yeah, I mean, he's got so much experience. He's so smart. He's so twitchy in his upper half and can speed it up. He recognizes exactly what's going on. And so I think, the best way is try to influence and affect, move him off his spot, be able to win with your rushes. Easier said than done. It's why he's the most successful quarterback of all time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Aaron Donald was saying about Brady yesterday that he respects everything he's done in the past, but this is a new year. What is the right sort of level of confidence for players to bring up in themselves going against Brady? I mean, is that the right kind of measured bravado that you need?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tremendous respect, but not fear. I think you're talking about two of the best at what they do with Aaron and Tom. And so as a competitor, he is a great, phenomenal player. We have tremendous respect for him, but we're going to have the expectation and anticipation that we're preparing to try to go win this game. And so we know what a great challenge it's going to be. We've got to have a great week of work and then go play to the best of our ability and let the chips fall where they may. But I know Aaron has a lot of respect for Tom, and I'm sure Tom would say the same thing about Aaron.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jordan?
Hey, Sean, it seems like week over week since Von Miller joined the group, you guys have increased your ability to rush with just 4 and then design some things in the back half. I know you guys are still doing some stuff with your linebackers and whatnot, but in terms of being able to attain that, what does that do even when you guys are fluctuating with personnel in the back half of your defense? What does that do when you can rush 4 consistently?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, you're always talking about changing the math, and if you can apply pressure while you're rushing 4 when they're protecting with 5 or 6 people, now you've got the numbers in our favor. You can play loaded coverages, and then with some of the different personnel we have on the back end, now you can really gain some elements and some advantages. But Von's been outstanding. I think he's really clicked it up a notch this last month. Jordan thought he played great from the jump yesterday, and really excited about him building on that performance.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Mark?
Sean, you may have been asked this before earlier this season, but you've had a lot of success going east and the day before instead of 2 days before. Why is that better?
I think, Mark, what we learned really last year was just based on the nature of the COVID protocols that, if you can have another night of sleep in your own bed and try to keep guys on as close to a normal rhythm and routine, that was good. What you kind of learn about their circadian rhythm, it usually takes more than even a couple days to truly get acclimated and adjusted. And so Our guys have done a nice job. With this game, it'll be a little bit different because it'll be 12 o'clock in our heads, kicking off at 3. It's the ones that are the unique circumstances that I think our guys have handled tremendously are when it's a 10 a.m. kickoff in their head. But ultimately, it's about being ready to go, being smart, doing a great job with your mental, your physical, and making sure guys get their rest. And I think we got a lot of people that really help our players, and ultimately they do a great job, and be a lot of reasons to be ready to go at 3 o'clock Eastern time on Sunday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Sean, on that exact note, from kind of a mental, emotional standpoint, how normal is this week? I can't imagine how both mentally and physically exhausted this team could be, especially in, once again, a short week.
Yeah, I would say this is kind of normal is unnormal this year. We really haven't had much normalcy over the last 6-7 weeks. We haven't really had regularity in the schedule. And I think if anything, our guys can draw on a lot of confidence that, this late in the year anyways, you've only really got a couple of days of physical preparation that you're really going about it, with that regards. And so give our players off today. We'll be smart with what we do tomorrow. And then you really look at it as Thursday and Friday kind of represent our major physical days of preparation. And then we'll travel on Saturday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great.
John, you mentioned Ernest and Darrell. Is there any chance Sebastian Joseph Day or Robert Rochelle makes a step of progress forward to this week?
Those guys haven't been a part of the conversation. It's a little bit different circumstances with them. So don't have any true updates on those guys, Greg.
Dennis.
Coach McVay, with the way Von's playing lately, when you guys drew up the timeline for Von, is he kind of playing at the level you knew he would be playing at this time of the season?
That's a good question. I think he's playing like the great player that he's always played, the way that he's played throughout the course of his career. I think for him, he's so tough, and that ankle injury was real. And I think you're starting to see, how he's feeling, fully recovered from that. Did a great job of really pushing through kind of with some of those first few games. And now I think you're seeing him play where he's uninhibited and he's playing great football. He's got a great look in his eye. He's just brought such a good dynamic to our football team, and his perspective and experiences are very valuable.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Michael.
Yeah, Sean, when you look at tape on Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, do you at all look at that Super Bowl 53? Do you go back at all because where the stakes were in the postseason, or is it just the most recent regular season games and then the 2 matchups you had with them in the last year?
Yeah, I think, you remember a lot of those things. They're doing some similar concepts. You can see it's a huge influence, obviously, which is a really smart approach by the Bucs that Tom has in regards to, you see a lot of crossover with some similar concepts they had in New England, but it also does have a very different feel in the nature of, with Coach Arians and Coach Leftwich. And I think they've done a great job of meshing both. So I don't necessarily know if you use that game, Michael, but you definitely know some of the concepts that they made us pay with. And, we're a different defensive structure as well. So some of the things that they would want to try to attack us with, I think would be a little bit different also.
We'll wrap up with you, Kyle.
All right. Hey, Sean.
Hey.
Let me ask you, what kind of confidence do you and the guys take out of a performance like you had last night against the Cardinals? And is that important? Was it important to put together a complete game like that as you head up against the defending champs this week?
Yeah, I think it was really important, for us to be able to find a way to win and do it in that fashion. I certainly think you can take a lot of confidence from it. I think our guys also know that what they did last night won't have anything to do with what we need to do on Sunday in Tampa. But I think you can draw on the confidence that, hey, we can play at this level. We know that's the kind of performance it's going to take to give yourselves a chance to come away with the win against the reigning Super Bowl champs, who are playing really well, doing a great job in all 3 phases. And that's where it's going to be a unique challenge, but one that you love as a competitor.
Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome.